Hey everyone, yeah, I'm glad I made the decision all those years ago when I started this YouTube channel to not monetize or to ever ask people to donate or support me economically or financially, because I'll tell you, I feel so invigorated and refreshed knowing that I definitely made the wise decision not to do that. And it's tough. I will admit, listen, it's not easy to be a blue collar construction worker that has had your life turned upside down because my past career was upended and destroyed because of central planning, mandatory minimums, and collective punishment. That was a tough ordeal to get over just on its own. But as with every other obstacle or barrier that has ever confronted me in life, I found a way to get over it and become a better person as a result. And I definitely recognized earlier on that it would probably be a good idea, if you want to do this full time, it'd probably be a good idea to start getting people supporting you economically or financially. That way, maybe someday I could quit my regular job and not have to have so much of my day consumed by not just physical labor, but intellectual labor as well. And actually, the intellectual labor isn't even giving me any reward as far as economic compensation. But I realized that, this is something that I chose to undertake. And if I'm going to do it, well, I'm doing it my way. And I'm not going to be holding, just like I say, even in my private life, there's a reason why I've had more than one job, right? Is the minute some boss or employer fucks with me, I'm exiting stage left. And I've shocked the shit out of a lot of them. Because a lot of people are like, they'll put up with fucking amazing amount of shit. But why it is because most people enslave themselves economically to the point where they'll have to put up with basically anything their boss throws at them and just keep going along because, well, if they don't, they'll lose everything because they've economically enslaved themselves to that point. Well, I've chosen to never, ever, ever do that. Now, I did back in my 20s, but since my late 20s, no. I said I'm never going to allow anyone to economically slave me to the point where I'm beholden to them or have to succumb or yield to what they do, because then I feel like I'm a slave to someone else. I love my freedom way too much to ever place myself in that kind of situation ever again. And I'm glad I carried that through on my social media presence as well, because it's definitely paying dividends today. Because what it means is I can say and do whatever the hell I want to do and say. I mean, as long as it's, like I say, within the confines of legality, right? But I can do these things and don't have to be beholden to anyone because nobody's paying me to do what I do. That's the thing. The minute somebody's paying me, that's the minute I recognize that's the time where now I'm somehow going to have to be beholden to these people. And I'm going to have to cater and coddle them in some way. So if they disagree with me on my stance, well, I might have to change or adopt my stance in a new manner to reflect something that's conducive with the people that are signing my check, right? Like I say, don't want nothing to do with that. Like I say, as a libertarian, my freedom matters way too much to me to ever succumb to that. And like I say, I have no price. A lot of people have a price. And I know people say, everyone's got a price. Listen, not everyone. And I can point out with real world proof. Offer me someday and you'll see. Bennett doesn't have a price. Offer me $1 million. I'd still tell you, fuck you. I enjoy my freedom too much. Offer me $1 billion. I'd still say, fuck you. I enjoy my freedom too much. And like I say, I'm not just saying this is false rhetoric or some false pretense. I mean, if someone actually had the money, they would realize that I would actually say that with 100% certainty. I know that's something most people would never do, which is why I realized that, yeah, I'm in a very small minority of people here on the planet. I get that. I've recognized that my whole fucking life. I've never been one of those people that just seamlessly fit in with the collective or the group. Never have been one of those peeps. Never. And the only time I ever have is if I've had to somehow yield or conform to their particular standards and deny me as my own self in some way, in some regard, in some capacity. And like I said, I've done it in the past. In some way, maybe it helped me in some way as far as like becoming more popular with a lot of people. But then I recognized the people that I became popular with, yeah, I don't really fucking care about these people. These are not the cream of the crop kind of people anyway. So why do I want to race down to succumb or align with these people just so that I can feel like, ooh, I'm part of a group? No, I don't give a shit. Like I say, I'd rather stand all by myself than be part of a collective. There are a bunch of inept authoritarians or unthinking beasts or immoral pieces of shit. Like I say, I'd rather stand on my own free will and doing things my way that I recognize to be morally and philosophically consistent than to cater to and coddle people just so that they'll like me or put me in their graces. Never want to do that, and I'm definitely never going to do that going forward. So like I say, I'll tie this video up, but I won't ask anyone. Like I say, I will never ask anyone for any financial or economic support. I guess I'll just have to keep working away year after year, doing 2 jobs at once, one that I'm paid for and one that I'm not compensated for. Other than, well, I am compensated for. That's the thing. I am totally expecting that I will be rewarded at some point in time for all the hard work and effort I put in my videos or everything that I upload on my social media pages, but I don't want money. Would I recognize I'll be rewarded is when I look at there and I see that my Canadian people are libertarians themselves, or at least libertarian-ish, where they have that live, let live mentality and adhere to the non-aggression principle, property rights, and respecting individual sovereignty and freedom. If that happens, I'll feel like I've been greatly rewarded. I'll actually feel like a pot of gold has landed in my lap if that ever happens, if that ever comes to fruition. That's my goal. That's my compensation. That's what I'm seeking. Not money, not dollars, and not cents. Well, common sense, yes. And in that area, in that regard, I am seeing some rewards and some success because I've gone from, 3 years ago, 10, 20, 30, maybe 50 people that were subscribed to my channel, and maybe out of those 50 people, 10 or 15 of them that actually continually or regularly watch my videos. Whereas now I have over 5,000 subscribers, and depending on the week or depending on the day, sometimes as much as 40 or 50,000 people pay attention to my videos. And I've done it all, like I say, without having to ask anyone for one fucking dime or have to cater to or coddle anyone. So I think that's a good strategy going forward, and that's a strategy I'm going to stick to. It definitely means that I'm going to be working a lot harder myself, but hey, I'll take and I'll assume that personal responsibility because I recognize it's beneficial for me today, for me tomorrow, for me next month, for me next year, and me for the rest of my life. And it's also beneficial on the other side of that for everyone else that gets to engage with me, because it means I'm never going to be beholden or succumb to the whims of people that are signing my paycheck. I'm always going to speak freely and staunchly stand for individual rights and freedom, no matter what everyone else says or no matter how many people agree with or promote me. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.